Morning, loves. Celeste Silver Cord here. Just hanging out, taking a quick break. I'm running a little later today, but that's fine. I don't even know if I'm gonna do this every morning anyway, but it's fun. I like talking to you guys. You guys have been really responsive. I mean, I appreciate it because it seems like a lot of people only want to talk to me just so that they can get a free reading or something like that. So, like, I call my original 33. I've had like 33 people that have consistently watched like everything that I put out, and I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for your comments and supports and your emails and all that. It means a lot to me. It's really the reason I've still doing this and still trying to, because it's hard, because I don't know what messages you guys want. I just give out what comes, but we're all riding such similar wavelengths right now that sometimes you see somebody and they say something and you get so wrapped up into thinking they have an answer or that they understand something, and no, they don't. People can't really read your minds like you think they can. Even with I know I've talked about the telepathy stuff with my friends. It's like, it's not as clear. It's not as clear. It's not like I can think, Becca, message me now, and she'll hear me say message me now in her mind. It's not like that. It's when you're connected with people, you'll feel an intense energy. um I don't know, it's so hard to explain. See, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you'll suddenly remember an inside joke or something like that, and you'll be laughing hysterical to yourself. I don't know if you guys do that. I walk around all the time laughing at the shit going on in my head. But you'll be laughing, and then the next thing you know, someone will message you and say, hey, I was just thinking about this time we did this, that, or the other thing. And you're like, that's what it was. That's why I was picking up their energy. That's why I was laughing so hard. That's why I remembered that joke for no real apparent reason, because they were triggered into a memory, and they were bringing it back. Don't mind me, I got my mosquito netting on. I love these things. I got my mosquito netting on today. It was hot as Hades and I want to wear shorts, but try to get some sun on my pale legs, but I don't think I'm going to get any sun today. But yeah, I didn't come out here with any concrete things. Nobody's asked me any questions since yesterday. If you do have any questions or anything that you would like to know about or ask me about, like I said, emails below. The link to my group, the Coven, the Silver Cord, is down there too. If you're interested in more magic stuff and things of that nature, just hop on over there, and we've got tons of stuff in our files. I've got Buckland books on PDF in there and all kinds of stuff for you guys. We do my friend does messages from the universe. I tell you this all the time. But you can really, when you're doing these videos, it's weird because you end up having to repeat yourself over and over and over and over again, because you never know when a new person's going to come in. So, new person, hi. You can join my group or email me. The links are below. We could talk about anything that you guys want to talk about. That's really what do you do? I talk and just messages come out. This is what's on my mind. Trying to explain this whole twin flame thing to people. And it's hard because I'm 36. I'm not done going through it yet. So how can I explain until I'm done? That's why we turn to people like, the older sages, the ones that put out books in their 50s and they already went through the whole cycle. But as far as I can tell, the whole thing is about growth, right? So usually when you meet somebody who has a mirroring to an energy to you, it immediately, the first thing it does is make you feel very self-conscious. And that is a weird thing for people who are of divine energies, divine masculines, divine feminines, because all our lives, we've never had to chase anyone, ever. I know this sounds so cocky, but it's just what it was. We're so good at manifesting what we want that it doesn't really matter our body shape, size, health, whatever. You know, you could be horribly deformed. If you have that divine energy, people gravitate towards it. And you could pretty much, look at somebody and go, oh, I would love to try and date that person. And all you got to do is talk to them enough. And the next thing you know, you're dating them. And when you come to the twin energies, it's like suddenly you care what this person thinks so much. And it's like you think they're so perfect and so beautiful and so whatever and so intelligent, and you're just like, I just want to pick their brains apart. I just want to get to know them so much. But then you look at yourself and you're like, oh no, I'm in no position to offer them anything. And it's like, that's never crossed our minds before we run into these twin energies. But then when you run into them, all of a sudden, you're like second guessing yourself. Like you've been thinking you're hot shit your whole life. And all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm really fucked up. And that causes the two responses. The cognitive dissonance response is you hate that person because they make you judge yourself. You put all kinds of toxic things on it. You're like, they make you judge yourself. So you don't like them anymore and you'll pick them apart. And that's what causes that. And that's what people would consider a karmic relationship. Sometimes they'll get into the relationship and that will still happen. You'll get into the relationship and it'll be like, because you make them judge themselves, they immediately turn that judgment that goes on them, which is an internal thing that they're judging on themselves, and they'll turn it onto you. And then they start picking you apart. And then they'll do the things. They'll try to knock you down a couple of notches because they feel like you're above them. Whatever reason. I don't know why this is how people respond. I don't know what psychological programming this is, but it just seems to be a chronic theme that plays out in a lot of these type of relationships. But that's why it's important to focus on you. And that's why I've said it in several videos that if you're in these type of divine, twin, karmic entanglements, no amount of tarot reading is going to get you through this. All that's going to do is bring you, especially if you're just scoping through YouTube and stuff like that, it's not going to bring you any clarity. The universe is just going to keep sending you messages to confirm whatever you want to be true, whether it's true or not. It's just going to feed your delusions and your fantasies for you. You really need to focus on yourself. If you want to come into union, into a healthy twin union, not a karmic twin union. If you want to come into a healthy twin union, how did Ralph say it? Infinite Waters yesterday. If you've never checked out Infinite Waters, check him out. Ralph's awesome. I mean, I don't like all his videos. I don't agree 100% with everything he says, but he does have a very striking energy. Like, he's not my type or anything like that physically, but I love his energy. And I love his little sayings. He's the one that always goes, breathe in that good ass prana, baby. Things like that. But he was talking about, he even brought up his soulmates. And he was like, how to find your soulmate. And he was, first you got to find your soul mate, right? Find your own soul. And that's what a lot of us are trying to get through to everybody is, if you want to really come into a healthy twin union, You have to drop expectations on everybody else, one. But two, you have to love you. You have to love you so much that it doesn't matter who else loves you. And the universe will go through some pretty extreme means to try and get you to understand that. And usually it comes with abandonment issues. And everybody has abandonment issues. Everybody's been abandoned by someone at some point. And I love that song, Wish You Pain. I think it's Andy Grammer. And that whole song is about, and it's like, it's hard to say, but I wish you pain. And how does it go? I hope your dreams come like monsters. Oh, wait. I hope your fears come like monsters and terrorize your dreams. I hope you feel a lonely hopelessness because no one else believes. I hope you question whether you ever really had a chance at all. See the line. I hope you put it all out on the line and everybody watches as you fall. I hope the help you want never comes and you do it on your own. 'Cause I love you more than you could know. And the song is all about, and I just wanted to see you grow. And I found that song last summer when I was going through my dark night of the soul. And it's true. It's true. I hope. If you've never been abandoned, if you've never truly had to do it on your own, I hope your whole world falls apart and you do. Because it's the only way you're going to wake up. It sucks, but it's part of the human condition. Addictions. Addictions are the name of the game. That's a big part of it all, too. We're all addicted to something. We're all numbing ourselves from something. We're all, and I don't care. I don't care who you are. You could be the most straight-laced, successful person on the planet. Guarantee you're a workaholic. Just saying. Maybe you're a sex addict. Maybe you're addicted to exercising all the time for the endorphins. And that's why you have a perfect body. Maybe, everybody's got something. Even the most well put together person is. The point is balance. Gotta balance it out. What can I say? I still do this. I've tried to quit 1 billion times. Still drink a shit ton of caffeine. I still like to have a nightcap at night. But you have to have control. If I ran out of cigarettes tomorrow, I would not die if I did not have cigarettes. If I ran out of caffeine tomorrow, I would not die if I ran out of caffeine. If I didn't have anything to drink at night, I would not go through withdrawals. Balance. Nobody says you can't have a good time, but you got to balance. And you got to be able to function. If your whole world falls apart because you didn't get your morning run-in and you didn't get those endorphins, it's a problem. You need to be able to allow things to happen. If you're so routine and stuck in an addiction or habit or something like that allows no space for things to happen to you, and if anything does happen to you, you immediately rail against the universe goes, fine, then you don't want anything to happen to you. Well, now what are you going to do? You're bored, right? And that's the other thing I've been seeing lately too that's got me really sad is there's a lot of people, and you can't be mad at them for it. My biggest thing is you can't be mad at people for deciding what they want to decide, but there are people that do want to shift into the higher energies, and they do want the new earth, and they do want a cleaner environment, and they do want less hate, and they do want all this. And there's some people that are embracing waking up, and they're embracing their downloads, and they're embracing the enlightenment path, and they're embracing all this. But then there are those that have chose to go back into autopilot. They've decided that they followed this spiritual enlightenment path, and has blessed them to this point, and now they've decided to go back into autopilot. Whatever that autopilot is usually some sort of work mode. They've got whatever. They got their dream job. They got their dream whatever. They've painted their perfect reality around them, and they are just cool. Now I can just go through the motions just every day, just same thing every day. Get up to the same thing every day, every day, every day. I can't do that. I don't know how other people do. It's a big earth thing. Earth signs are great at that shit. Air signs are alright at it. Water signs are good at it, but they're always looking at some way to shake it up. Or they'll get into the routine for a while, and then something will cause them to just like, they'll go, bah! They go crazy. My sister's is a Pisces. Her daughter is too. Fire signs are not good at routine. I'm good with fire signs. I should probably do a video just on fire signs. If you don't know and you're new, once again, hi, welcome new people. I am a triple fire sign. I have a sun in Aries, a moon in Sagittarius, and my rising is Leo. Ooh. Maybe that's a video I'll do too. I'll explain your sun, moon, and rising and how those really affect you. I can give you a brief rundown real quick. Your sun sign is the energy that you're born into, right? Your rising sign is the sign that's rising when you're born. Your moon sign is obviously where the moon is when you were born. So your sun sign is the energy that you're born into. So like I was an Aries. So I was an atypical Aries child. Bashing my face up. I got in a lot of fist fights. I did a lot of daredevil things. Hence the face again. But I find that most people shift into their rising sign at like 30. And people are like, oh, well, you can't really shift into it till then. I mean, it's the mother, the maiden, the mother, the crone, the youth, the warrior, the sage. You can't skip over a phase. You have to go through it in order to earn the next step. You don't get the divine wisdom of your rising sign until you master the aspects of your sun sign. And I'm not 100% master of my sun sign elements, but I'm only 36. I've only been really shifting into my rising energy for a few years now. So I still have a lot of Aries traits, but I'm much better at it now. I'm not nearly as triggered as I used to be. And, but that's the thing. That's what shifting into your rising sign is. You shifting into your rising sign is when you're able to look at your sun sign and you're able to pick it apart a little bit, get your chart, and see the positive and the negative aspects of it, and then work your life so that your negative aspects do become a positive attribute. Like, I'm very good at debating and arguing. very good at debating. I'm not going to say arguing. Well, I'm good at arguing too, but I don't like to argue. I like to have a conversation. I like to be able to debate. I like to be able to have two people that have two different sides of a story or two different versions of whatever, spirituality, whatever, but two opposing views or two different views, and be able to talk, and each person can present their views, and you can go back and forth and actually be able to shift your perspective and your mind. It's a big thing that a lot of people have lost. I miss you talk about like the old philosophers, Socrates and Plato, Homer, all of them. They were able to debate without hating each other. They still showed up to, all the bathhouses and all that other stuff. Confucianism is all about the art of conversation, to be able to have these conversations. And that's a big lesson a lot of people are learning right now too, is being able to talk about having different opinions without hating the other person. Just checking my lighting. For those of you who don't know what's wrong with my eyeball, I'll let you see it. No, I did not get punched in the face. I got a infected tear duct. I get them all the time. I don't get sick, but my body's very good at catching things, and then it bottles it up somewhere. In this case, it bottled it up in a tear duct, and it's probably something that I've been refusing to look at, or something that I manifested that on myself. But yeah. All right. Well, I'm just over 20 minutes now, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. I've already taken a pretty long break. I gotta go paint the bathroom now, and bring Snickers out here so we can go poo. All that fun stuff. I'm in mom mode. My kids are home again now. They spent the weekend with their dad's family, so they're back. Yeah. I hope you guys have an absolutely beautiful day. Blessed be all those who walk these paths with me. Love y'all. Talk to you later.